Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained?
Hey, what's going on, family? This is Howard from nopickspodcast.
This is Joe, nopickspodcast.
All right, so Joe, check this out. Today, I came across this CBS News article right on YouTube. So basically, it's about this coffee chain unionizing, and as soon as they unionize, it didn't come with positive results, right? So I'm gonna show you the clip, and we'll react to it.
Interesting. All right.
30 individuals are without jobs this afternoon following the sudden closure of all 3 remaining OCF coffee house locations throughout Philadelphia.
Well, CBS News Philadelphia reporter Marcela Bayeto spoke with former employees and the company on what's next.
Ori, you can't hide. We all see your greedy side.
Former employees of OCF Coffee House rallied outside of the now closed Fairmount Cafe on Tuesday.
We've been paid really bad wages, and this was our attempt to get better wages and make the place that we love better.
The coffee shops are owned by OCF Realty. The real estate brokerage announced the closures to employees in an email, which included 2 other locations in South Philly. Workers like Alex Simpson say they were shocked.
I am pretty crushed, especially when it's such a blatant response to our union process. This comes a week after we publicly announced our union.
Workers say they made anywhere from $9 to $13 an hour, along with fluctuating tips. Former employees say they attempted to bring their concerns to management. OCF Realty President Ori Feibush told us over the phone he held meetings on Monday to hear from workers, but very few attended.
No one showed. So those conversations have not been able to happen. We've unilaterally extended health, vision, and dental for every staff member for 3 months.
He owns a chunk of the city, so we're just very confused as to why he couldn't pay us a couple more dollars an hour.
Feibush says the coffee shops already operated at a loss, and he's not against workers unionizing. Instead, it's the cost of legal services that come along with the union that added to the decision to close.
A decision that is as difficult as that one is never simplistic with, this happened or that. You had an organization that was already at its limit. It was just at its limit. It did not have the capacity to continue to burden additional cost.
The president of OCF Realty tells me they're having several discussions with former employees about the possibility of severance packages. He also tells us that they have had several inquiries come on through about other companies possibly taking over the coffee house locations. In South Philly, Marcela Bayeto, CBS News, Philadelphia.
Yeah, Jackie, we're
So you saw that. What's your thoughts?
I guess I'll state unequivocally up front that I'm generally pro-union. Just because I know the history of unions, why they started, why they came to be, why they were necessary, in the 50s and the 60s.
Right.
The syndicalists, the workers were just fighting for better wages when they were getting shafted and exploited. If it wasn't for a lot of unions or activists, we wouldn't have 9-to-5s. We wouldn't have certain protections as employees. We wouldn't have certain benefits as well. So there was a time where people fought for these rights and for these unions as a way to protect themselves, right, from greedy corporations or greedy owners. And fast forward to now, there's an ongoing issue with unions. We had Amazon workers trying to unionize. We had Starbucks workers trying to unionize. We had all these different things happening. And I think Starbucks actually won and got their union. I might be wrong, but they were trying to get their unionization. I think FedEx, or was it FedEx or UPS, one of them, they were trying to unionize as well.
Oh, UPS is already unionized.
Okay, cool. So I am pro union, right? Overall, I like teachers unions, things like that. However, then you have situations like this, right? So if what the man has said is true, basically adding a union, which would force higher wages and then legal fees that come with it. I don't understand the process, but there's some legal fees. They were already operating at a loss.
Yeah.
If your business is operating at a loss and you just can't, basically unionizing forced them to be like, I can't do this.
Yeah.
I cannot do this. I can't pay you guys this wage. And so this is an interesting scenario. That's my initial thought. I got more to say, but I want to expand. So how do you think about this?
I mean, I think they bought that. I think they got what they deserved in this situation. Listen, this ain't no surprise to you, but there's just some jobs that you just shouldn't make a living wage off of. A job like this is it should be a part-time job. This is a side hustle. So if you thought you were going to get, if you thought you were going to make $50,000, $60,000 as a barista at, this coffee shop, then you're you're sadly mistaken. Like that's not like what you do isn't worth $40 an hour. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just not in any circumstance.
Yeah.
So you also got to take into account what you bring to the table as far as your labor skills. Like I when I was my first job was McDonald's. McDonald's ain't no $20 an hour job, nigga. The whole shit is mechanized, and I'm sure now it's even more so. You press a button, it tells you. It's not like you need to be a fry cook, and it's not like you need to be like a fry fucking scientist. You put the shit, you put the fries in a basket, put the basket in the grease. You press a fucking button, and you pull it out and put it on the little metal thing. You put some salt on that bitch. It's pre-amounts. It's preset salt amounts. My job specifically, I was a crew trainer, right? But basically I just showed people how to make the burgers. So it was like, I'm like, okay, I put the meat on a grill, push the thing down, it comes up automatically. Like, so it wasn't my impeccable, burger making ability that made the burgers moist and medium well. Like, nigga, no, the machine did it.
Then they making Krabby Patties, bro.
I just took it off the shelf and then put it on a burger. Put the pickles and the dried onions on there. Put that shit. You ate it and you like, damn, it's doing good as fuck. It wasn't because of me. It's because it was already done, right? So so your job isn't that kind of job. Also, second point I want to make. She said something that was that to me that screamed, "You're fucking entitled." She said, well, this company owns real estate throughout the city. I don't understand why he couldn't just give us more money. That's fucking his money. You're not entitled to his money. So just like this is that whole like just rich people. I don't even know if the dude's rich. Or hey, people with more money than me, just give me your money. Why? You're not entitled to his money. He's only paying you based off the work that you're doing. He's not paying you because he just has a good heart and he thinks you're cool with your nose rings and shit. Like, no, like he's paying you based off your ability to his ability to make a profit off the business. So if the business isn't making a profit, y'all just overplayed y'all hand. Y'all should have shut the fuck up and kept taking that $9 an hour for as long as y'all could. Because as soon as y'all rocked the boat a little bit, he was just waiting for something to close. He wasn't making a profit anyway. He was just waiting for something to happen. If they would have if it would have stormed a crazy amount, he probably would have shut the business down. So y'all just made it faster than it was. So it's y'all dumbass fault. That's what y'all get.
Pretty much. Yeah, pretty much. I when I heard that statement for her at first, I was like, well, if this guy has millions or potentially billions, probably even millionaire. I don't think he's a millionaire. But if this guy does have all that money, what's a few extra dollars for the hourly wage? But then when he said we're operating at a loss, I'm like, well, that's why, because the business is not booming there. It can't pay you more if we're not making business. If we're operating at a loss, like how do I pay you more? So then that for me, I was like, this is. So here's the thing about capitalism, right? And I'm not going to critique it, but in order to have the capitalist system, a business owner has to exploit his labor, right? So you're never going to get if you have to make a, like you said, let's say how much does a Big Mac cost?
Shit, nigga, now it's probably like $8.
All right, so a meal might be $8, right? More than likely, if that man wants to make a profit, he can't pay you more than the product that you're making. You know what I'm saying? That's not how it works. So you off rip in the system, for somebody to make profit, they can't pay you more than you make in an hour. So it's like, do you have that much value that you're producing? I don't know. It's hard to break down how much value somebody can produce in an hour, right? But at some point, labor has to get exploited, so that people can make money. And I think that there's a sweet spot where like owners can pay somebody. I know you hate the term living wage, but a wage that at least is respectable. That you know what I mean. But I don't know, bro. It's so complicated too, because we're also talking about McDonald's. So we've had this conversation too, where you're like, you're grown, find a better job that pays more. You know what I mean? And then I also hate the fact that America's so big on tips. I feel like other countries aren't big on tips. America is big on customers tipping these already low paid workers for them to make any money. So it kind of puts it on us, not just to pay for food and pay for the taxes for the food, but then we have to tip on top of that because they're getting paid $4 an hour. Like, that's not my fault. Not my fault that y'all getting paid a crappy wage. Like, why I gotta tip you a
Yeah.
crazy amount? Like, you know what I mean? I'm trying to get by too. So there's a lot of moving parts in this, and it's complicated. But I do feel like them unionizing they just sped up their demise. You know what I mean? It was
Right.
inevitable,
Yeah.
but they like basically
He was like,
they shut it down.
she was like,
Yeah.
it's like you dating a chick and she's ugly, right? But you're still dating her. And then you find out a little bit later that she got an attitude problem. You like, bitch, you lucky. You lucky I was even dating you. You lucky I gave you a shot. Now you gonna have an attitude problem? And get up out of here. Like so it was more profitable for him to close down the 3 coffee shops than to work with y'all or deal with y'all at wage. He probably was like, thank you for he probably took that extra money and just went somewhere else. Like
Yeah, probably. And it's I don't know. A lot of them, especially like the large chick who was complaining, the entitled one, she looked like she was maybe like
right.
30. She didn't look like she was young. She looked like she probably had like
Yeah.
a kid or two. Like, I'm like, why are you still working at a coffee house, man? I'm like, you got to work somewhere that's going to pay you some
This is
actual
a side
money.
hustle.
And
This is a
instead
side hustle.
You know what I'm saying? Like, this could be a ride. This could be, or for a college student who's like working in between, trying to complete their degree and needs
Right.
some cash on the side, like a side hustle, a college student or a summer job, like, but like your full-time job that you want to pay all your bills with, like,
I would be
expecting?
interested to hear people's thoughts on like what they think they should be making. You feel what I'm saying? Like I would love to see like a documentary on like, you know, going up to different, you know, service workers and shit like that, being like, yo, what you should like. I would love to have Gio on here because I wonder what Gio think that lady should be. Gio probably be like, man, she should be making like $1 million a year. Like, nigga, how? Like how? Like it's
Gio, we gotta get you back on to defend yourself, bro.
like the numbers don't make sense. Like, what are you talking about? Like,
that's actually interesting. I haven't seen that yet, where people go around asking people at like fast food places or like coffee shops, like, how much do you wish you got paid? Like, how much do you think, or how much do you
right?
think you
That's a
deserve
better
to get
question.
paid?
Yeah.
And hearing what those responses are. Yeah,
They
I think that's
probably
interesting. And we saw what happened in California. You called it, bro. They raised the minimum wage in fast food restaurants to 20, and guess what happened? They started shutting down places. Places are going to shut down completely in a few months. People went to full automated fast food stores now. Like, they made that change like this. The prices went up for the customer. So basically, they tossed and you called all of it. You said that's exactly what happened. Like, they raised the minimum wage, and now people can't even afford to buy a Big Mac. It's too expensive now. So yeah, bro. Oh man, this is great. Well, I hope they find employment. They better not go to another coffee shop and don't
try
you know
that
what I mean?
same
Like,
shit over there.
Maybe
like, did your dumb ass ain't learn?
Yeah. So listen, I support their spirit and what they were trying to do, but like, it just wasn't gonna happen, y'all. Not at a business that's operating at a loss. So I think it was poor timing. So I'm curious to see that if it was operating at a profit, if he would have done that.
That's interesting.
I don't know. That I don't. That would. But now I sympathize with him because like bro, it's like the WNBA. They want pay increases, but we subsidizing y'all with the NBA money. Like, y'all want pay raises, but y'all operating at a loss. Like, it costs us money to fund your league. You know what I mean? Like, kind of like that. So. But yeah, that's it, bro. That'd be my final thought on that. Like,
listen, family, tell us what y'all think. Should the coffee workers be making $100,000, $200,000 to $300,000 a year, or
with benefits and retire and a pension,
or should they kind of take it for what it is and get up out of there? You mean, listen, I think a nice perk is getting a free coffee. You can just make that shit yourself. But I mean, I guess you can't pay the lights. You can't pay the fucking electric with coffee. But anyway, listen, family, like, comment, subscribe. Let us know what you think. And until next time.
Next time.